What's going on, everyone? So, I've been having a lot of issues and a lot of concerns from some of the retired people, or retirement people, or people who are about to retire, and asking me they're getting close to retirement and what's some of the things they need to do before they retire. Now, I keep telling them, hey, have you talked to a finance expert? Have you done this? So I figure I'll make a video about 6 things you need to do if you're nearing retirement or you're thinking about retiring, because these are the things you need to think about, because once you retire it's really hard to go back to the workforce. Either they fill your job, or no one wants to hire you because they're worried about you leaving the company at your age. So it makes it harder to get a job. So let's talk about this before you retire. So if you're planning to retire in less than 10 years or 10 years or less, find out what you need to do, and let's just so you can have a smoother transition. Now, a lot of people have an issue and don't know where they stand or what to do for retirement. And if you're getting close to retirement, this video will be great for you. I have retired once already, and I found out a lot of things I didn't do before my early retirement, and I went back to work just because I didn't think things through. And I want to help you to, when you retire, to stay retired, or you just find a better option and have a better retirement plan or a better retirement just because you thought things through. So, number one, find out where you stand. There's nothing I can tell you if you don't know where you're standing in retirement age and possibly how long you think you'll live. Now, there's a chart and statistic you can use. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it based off how well you're doing now, what your age you expect to live to. Now, this is all based off of genetics and how you've been living, if you've been living a healthy lifestyle. And it's very important to plan out your old age because you don't want to run out of money in your retirement. So, first thing you really need to do is sit down, find out where you stand, how much money you have in your 401k, where are you, how much Social Security you're going to get, if you're going to qualify for Social Security, if you're going to get Medicare, Medicaid, if you can afford it, and how are you going to pay for the things you have. So let's think about this. One year, you need to make sure, hey, what is my age of retirement? How old will I be when I retire? And how long do I think I'll live for? So you need to start saving for your future expenses. Now, this is very important because you do not know what's going to happen. So you need to make sure you have a good nest egg. Now, also, if you run a business, how are you going to handle the transition out of the business? Are you going to get passive income? Are you going to sell the business? And believe it or not, it takes a while to close down a business, and it costs sometimes a lot of money, sometimes little money. And this is where you need to talk to a financial advisor or advisor on what you should do in these general situation. For example, I had to pay for a closing down my company. I didn't expect that it was going to cost me $15,000 to hire a lawyer to file all this paperwork to close down my company. And that was an unexpected expense that I didn't save for, and I had to dip into some stocks to sell it just to afford to hire a lawyer to close down the company. Now, that's just finding out where you stand, and you want to make sure, hey, if you're going to relocate, you need to know how much it's going to cost. You just need to know where you stand, what you're going to do, and what your plan is. So, number two, boost your saving if you need to. Because at this point, you find out you're going to retire in 5, 10 years, 2 years, 4 years. You need to know how much money you have, and you might have to do catch up mode and minimize as much as you can so you can save retirement. Now, the 401k, 403b, 457, and thrift saving plan all have a catch up contribution where you can put up to $7,500 extra into your retirement account if you're at least the age of 50. So if you're at the age of 50, put it in there so you can have it. And if you're eligible, this is the perfect time to start thinking about an HSA account, because if you don't know what an HSA account, it's a health saving account. I have one for my wife. I don't really need it because I used the VA and they pay for almost all my surgeries, all my procedures, all my medicine. So I don't have to worry about it. I just have to wait around longer to get things done. But the government covers for my health care, so I already figured that out. But I thought ahead for my wife and saved up an HSA account. And it's just putting away money for the family for the future, just in case you need to use it. So you may have to boost your savings. It's number two, right? So now that you know that you might have to boost your savings, make sure you learn to budget and minimize, and it's a great time to do it. And how much you how much could you contribute in 2024? Now, I'm going to put the chart above, but if you're under the age of 50, you can put 23,000 for or a 401k, 403b, or 457, and a traditional IRA or Roth is $7,000. With the health savings account, if you're by yourself, is 4,150 or 8,300 if you have a family. Now, if you're above the age, it's a different number, so I'll put it on a chart so you can see it. Now, number 3, plan ahead for Social Security. Now, you have to think about Social Security is when do you want to start taking it? Do you have enough money to last from whatever age to full retirement? And will you be able to afford it? Now, my recommendation is take Social Security and put it into the stock market, because normally you can get a better return than if you just let that 8% roll over. But it's based off your financial need. It changes per advisor, so you just have to find a plan that matches with you. But if you take early retirement at age 62, you will get a reduction in your retirement benefit, and you might not want to do that. But if you do 70, you get 100%. So just make sure you figure out what your Social Security benefit, and you can just sign on the website, Social Security website, put in your information, and they can do all the math. Just know that it takes the top 35-year wages, and they calculate how much you get from that. Now, if you don't know what your retirement age is, or for full retirement, I'll put it on the screen. It changes per age group, so you should see it right about here. So look at it, pause the video if you have to, but that is one of the things you have to look at. Now, number 4, considering tax smart strategy now. What do I mean about that? Now, I tell everyone, if you're about to retire, start thinking about, hey, is my income to be higher, lower in retirement? Where should I put my money? And it all will affect you in the future. I recommend putting everything in a Roth so you don't have to pay taxes in the future. But some people pay less taxes in retirement, so you have to consider what tax bracket you're in. Now, the lower tax bracket is 0, 10%, or 12%. Consider maxing out your Roth savings account, because your tax bracket in retirement is likely to be the same or it's higher than it is today. Now, if you're middle tax bracket, 22% or 24%, that's where it gets difficult to determine where to put your money. And this is all up to you and how you're going to retire. So you have to sit there and consider planning for the best for the future. And should you consider conversion before your retirement or in retirement? Now, that all depends on your strategy. And I tell people, hey, if you have a chance to do conversion and stay under the taxable income so you don't have to file taxes, this is the best time to do it and start doing it. Just make sure you have that 5-year after conversion before you start withdrawing it, or you're going to get hit with a 10% penalty fee. So just make sure you do the math, you figure it out so you don't get hurt with that penalty. But you can do backdoor Roth or Roth conversions and make a lot of money by not paying taxes or save money on taxes. Now, number 5 is get ahead starting on future healthcare costs. Saving for HSA account now is very important. At the end of the day, everyone is going to need money to pay for health. That's just at the end of the day, everyone will. Someone, you eventually need to go to doctors, you'll eventually need medicine, and you might eventually need surgery, unless you pass away before you do use it. Now, even if you don't think you're going to need it, more likely you will need it. And I recommend to start putting away money in healthcare or HSA accounts as soon as possible and try to get it there, because you don't know what's going to happen in retirement, and that income is tax free or it lowers your taxable income. So it's really good to use. Now, number 6 is start thinking about retirement income. It's the very last you need to think about after you did all these different things. The reason why is because now you can start thinking about where you can get your income. Or you can get it from retirement accounts, or you can get it from a bank account, brokerage accounts, or pension, annuities, HSA, where you can get your money from. And then take a very close look at your expenses. It's very important to start doing this stuff because it's very important. Just think about, if you want to travel the world and live a very luxury style, how much will that cost? Will you have enough income? And how many years will you live for? Now, if you start your retirement income and with this strategy and think everything through, it will minimize your risk. And I highly, highly recommend you doing these 6 steps. Now, should you worry about your retirement if you're 20 or 30? You shouldn't worry about your retirement, but you should start planning. It's never too late or too early to start planning for retirement. And people keep asking me, what about this? What about that? Do I have enough saving? And at the end of the day, I tell you, if you do not know, please talk to a financial advisor. Go to Fidelity, go one of these accounts and talk about how you can handle your money, how much money you're going to get if you don't know how to figure it out. Because financial advisors will. Now, I don't recommend financial advisor if you're already on top of it and save yourself some money, but some people need the help. And if you do need help, go ahead and go for it. So like and subscribe to my video. And that's all I got for you.